What up? I'm Storm. You can too. Welcome back to another day in my life. I'm sitting here in my car after having a little bit of breakfast. Not the healthiest of things. A couple bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits and some hash browns. Followed down with a large orange juice. It's the weekend. I'm worth it. So anyway, what could I possibly have to talk about today? Well, I've got a couple of things on my mind, so I'm going to open up with a positive. That's right, I got a positive. I went and saw Top Gun Maverick. That movie kicks ass, to put it lightly. It was probably one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my life. I've given it such high marks that it might be my favorite movie of all time. And I know, that's saying something. It's up there with Empire. Or, because some people struggle to identify movie titles by shortening them, Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars. And if you know me, you know that Star Wars is my life. Along with Halo, NASCAR, Pokemon. You get it. This movie meant a lot. It is everything that you would want in a sequel. We've brought back the same motorcycle. We brought back nostalgic jets, fighter scenes. But we're training for a new mission. Obviously, Tom has aged, so we have to include that. There's just no other way to put it, but it was a really well done movie. It was a great thank you to the fans, and also thank you to Top Gun, and thank you to Tom Cruise. Sean, my assistant manager, he kind of filled me in on how this even came to be, because there was so much resistance from Tom to make a second one. And then all of a sudden, the script showed up. And you're just blown away that it all happened. And thank God it did. It's a good movie. No. It is a great movie. And you need to go see it, because you're worth it. I might go see it again. And a third time. Maybe a fourth time. I've got Paramount. Can't wait for it to come out on the app so I can watch it a lot. Might even download it to my phone, just so that way I have instant access to it. It is a great friggin' movie. So go see it. Quit watching me. Go see this movie. Alright. Now we gotta talk about something that's not as great. And look, I need to come out ahead of this and say, look, my fandom with Star Wars is being tested. My patience is being tested. And quite honestly, my faith in decent writing is being tested. The Obi Wan Kenobi series is not good. It's not. It's not what we were promised. It's not what we were hoping it would be. It was a bait and swap. It's the sequel trilogy again. And it's just bad. It's really bad. And it's sad, because this is the one shot that they had to bring us all back together to enjoy Star Wars, and they tanked it. Maybe I need to actually become a writer for Hollywood. They'll never take my scripts. They'll definitely never consider me for hire. But I can do better than this. I have done better than this. I jot down my dreams, and I have more creativity than these people. These people are morally and creatively bankrupt. Okay, I'm going to hammer out a couple of points Excuse me. I'm going to hammer out a couple of points. And then I'm going to elaborate on how I would do it different. So the first thing, Obi-Wan's monotonous life, where he works in some kind of butchery, takes home a little portion, gets paid, lives in a cave. All that's great. Except for one problem. At the end of every day, we should be seeing him try and reach out to Qui-Gon Jinn. Because Yoda gave him training. So he should be reaching out through the Force and trying to find Qui-Gon to communicate with his master. Because obviously Qui-Gon has something to say if Yoda's communicated with him. So let's quit messing around. If you're going to bust out Liam Neeson, bust him out. What are we waiting on? That should have happened episode 1. The little chase scene with the 10-year-old Princess Leia. You shouldn't have a 5-minute chase scene. It should be instantaneous. 2 guys stop her on a road. One comes up from behind her, bag overhead. You're taken. Done deal. Don't give me this freaking cartoon Saturday morning BS about her running in the forest and guys not being able to reach their hands out just to grab her. This is stupid. This is Star Wars. Quit ruining it. It's already been ruined enough. So then Bail Organa, who happens to be basically in the biggest leadership role in Alderaan, decides that he can't send out a police force or a military force or hire a bounty hunter or do any of the things that he should be doing to get his daughter back. No. You're going to reach out to the guy who is exiled because the entire empire wants him in particular, especially Darth Vader. You're going to reach out to him to go get your daughter because you're not Bail Organa. You're an idiot pretending to be Bail. Crappy writing. Crappy execution. Crap. So what does Obi-Wan do? He's like, no, I'm not going to do it. But Bail says, you're the only one that can. You're my only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's not true. Your daughter's not a target. She was picked up to be used as a pawn. Don't play the game. Just so stupid. And as we go on, the Inquisitors, they landed on Tatooine. That means that now they have an inkling, something to tie them back to coming around looking for Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's called a problem. So why would Obi-Wan want to stick around to protect Luke Skywalker when he can't even protect himself at this point because the man is so badly out of practice with even a friggin' lightsaber because they buried it in the sand. Okay, where did we see burying lightsabers in the sand? Oh yeah, Rey. Thanks, sequel trilogy. You found your way into the prequels. Look. And I can't believe I have to say this. If Obi-Wan is supposed to teach Luke the ways of the Jedi, don't you think he would need to be in practice to be able to teach how to be a Jedi? Don't you think he'd need to know how to have a lightsaber duel? Don't you? So maybe instead of having the lightsabers buried in the sand, you could have Obi-Wan practice so he is a competent duelist when he's teaching Luke Skywalker. But let's get to Luke. Let's get to Luke. When we last saw Yoda talking to Obi Wan and Bail, Bail's going to take the daughter. They've always wanted one. And raise her as a princess in Alderaan. And Obi Wan, I'll take the boy to his family on Tatooine. And I will look over it. That's great. That's great. Not really. Yeah, you probably shouldn't take it to, Anakin's half-brother. Or, brother-in-law. Or however you want to put that together. That's one of the places that Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, should definitely be looking. But whatever. Okay, so, Luke Skywalker. Uncle Owen. Why are we not watching Luke Skywalker being watched by Obi Wan Kenobi? Why are we running through the paces with Leia? From what I gather from the movies and the lore, Luke Skywalker should definitely be being watched by Obi Wan Kenobi, and Bail Organa should definitely be taking care of Princess Leia. That is how that should be working, and that is not what's going on. Instead, Obi-Wan is going around the universe looking for Leia, and Luke is by himself with Uncle Owen, who, by the way, was threatened personally by Reva, an Inquisitor. Imagine that. Grand Inquisitor was killed by Reva. That is now a retcon. Obi-Wan and Darth Vader had a crap duel, which I give the duel props because Vader looked competent. Vader basically just walked Obi-Wan down. Obi-Wan looked like a scared animal, and they did that perfectly. And I give that props because that's how the character's written, and it was acted wonderfully, and it was executed, but it's a butcher of Obi-Wan's character because he's always been a charismatic individual, even when he was in slavery. Yes, Obi-Wan had an episode in Clone Wars where he was a slave, and for every action that he did to try and help the people that were enslaved around him, they didn't abuse him, they took it out on the slaves. And it basically tore him apart in his Jedi way that every time he tried to do the right thing, someone else paid for it instantly. And yet he still had his charisma. He didn't break. He was breaking, but he didn't. This isn't Obi-Wan. This is Ben. And it's written that way. And I definitely believe that this is not Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is Disney Star Wars Ben. When we last met, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. Apparently not. When we last left, or when we last met, I dragged you through fire because you were so badly out of practice that I was able to do with you whatever I wanted. But then when a little bit of fire popped up, I couldn't clear it again like I did just moments ago, or walk through it, or do anything badass. I got separated from you from fire and couldn't walk around it, so I guess I'll let Obi-Wan escape. Yep. Oh. But then, we're going to go to the Inquisitor's base of operations. Because Leia's there. And we're going to pull Cal Kestis, who was there 5 years earlier, break into the Inquisitor's dealio, somehow rescue Princess Leia. Base goes into full alert, lockdown status, nobody in, nobody out, show me your identification, that kind of stuff. How are you going to escape? A trench coat. Leia's going to be under the trench coat, and this obviously bearded individual among clean shaven with a hat is going to walk by everybody until they get to the landing platform, and then the Inquisitors are going to show up, and it's gonna be this massive thing. And it's like, oh my gosh, how did you get past everybody? And then the snow speeders that are not snow speeders right now, they're I think they're T-41s or 47s. They're going to come in, they're going to shoot everybody on the landing deck, and then one's going to sit there and hover and shoot at Reva, and because she's the bestest ever, she's going to deflect all the shots instead of, finding cover. And then you get Obi Wan, and you get Leia, and that spy chick. You're going to get her loaded up, and then everybody's going to fly away. But instead of doing something like, I don't know, using the TIE fighters that you have strapped to the ceiling, you're just going to throw one of those energy cores and blow one of the ships up that, didn't have any consequence at all, that we didn't know the pilot at all. Blah, blah, blah. Writing. What's that? It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. It makes me even more mad because you see this movie, Top Gun, and you see what they're doing with the Obi Wan Kenobi series, and you're like, with a competent writing staff and a little bit of budget and some proper directing and characters, look what you can accomplish with Maverick, and look what you can fail with Obi-Wan. It is mind-blowing just how bad it really is. It is so bad. Okay. So now I need to calm down. And I will calm down. Because I don't think I've said much since I turned 29. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what's going on. Wife is 17 weeks pregnant. The house has been coming along on renovations and landscaping. As I said before, I'm 29 years old now. Not much has changed in between work and my home life, but things seem to be going pretty well. And I appreciate the love and support that I've gotten from family and friends. It is June 11th or 12th, and it's Sunday. I love my Ford Fusion, and I'm living a pretty good life. So just do the best you can. Hold on. Hopefully things get better. If you're struggling, reach out. Get that help. If you're succeeding, tell everybody. They deserve to share in your accomplishments. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace.